Thank you for joining us and welcome to Legal Learning. I'd like to introduce your hosts today, Staff Attorney Jeff Hittleman and Paralegal Richard Rudolph. They are both in the Senior Citizen Law Project. For Legal Learning today, we will discuss hot topics facing seniors in Broward, such as condo associations, special assessments. This presentation is not intended to provide specific legal advice.
Good afternoon, and thank you so much for joining us on Legal Learning today. Rick, the introduction really should have introduced you as longtime paralegal at Coast to Coast Legal Aid. How long have you been a paralegal here?
22 years now.
And the topic for today is going to be condos, but we're going to break this up into three different acts, right, Rick? Kind of like a play.
Yes.
Talk about the dream, the reality, and also the nightmare.
Right.
Rick, let's start with the dream. When you hear people excited about moving to a condo, buying a condo, what do you hear them thinking about?
You know, it's so interesting because the dream is I'm tired of being a tenant. I want to have my own place. So I think I'd like to buy my own little condo and just not have to worry about anybody telling me what I could do, where I could go, nothing. Just have my own little place. I don't have to deal with landlords anymore. Or another way a lot of people look at condos is, oh, I'm in this gigantic house and it's so expensive and I have to mow the yard and take care of everything. I just want to go someplace where everything's done for me. And then all of a sudden it's like, wow, I got it for a little bit of money. I could buy a condo and just pay one low monthly maintenance fee and everything is all done for me. How great would that be? No more hassles, no more dealing with the mowing the yard, cleaning the pool, fixing the roof. Just sit back, relax, and enjoy life. And that's what the good life is about.
Yes, we hear that a lot, and I always hear the amenities. Everyone's always, excited about the tennis court and the sparkling pool, and that's kind of the picture.
Yeah, it's just like life at its best. No worries, no problems, no more hassles, and it's my own home.
Right. I think we're waking up from our dream, and let's shift gears a bit and talk about the reality, some of the real life day-to-day things.
Yeah, the reality is that number one, I'm not my own boss. I have to follow rules. People tell me what I could do, what I can't do. They tell me what hours I could use the pool. They regulate the temperature. If they want it to water freezing, they keep it freezing. They want it hot, they make it hot. It's the decisions are not mine. They tell me if I want to go to the clubhouse, what time I can go, if I can't go. Then they have, if I want to go and park my car someplace, I have to use a specific spot. And if I have guests come on over, all of a sudden they can't park here. They have to park someplace way in the back of a building and walk a quarter of a mile to get to my place. So I've just given up a lot of independence. I can't, if I want to have a barbecue on my balcony, hey, there are rules. No, I can't do that. It has to be at a specific time and a specific place. If I want to have people come on over and stay with me, hey, I need permission.
We've talked about the dream. We've gotten into the reality. Let's go to the nightmare.
Here's the sad part. All of a sudden, if I do something wrong, I am subject to fines. I get little notes on my door saying, hey, you are being fined for this, or you're being fined for that. So I have to follow all these rules, very strict rules, and if not, I'm subject to fines. Then we also have, in addition to that, we also have what creeps up, and that's called special assessments. And those special assessments are actually something out of the ordinary that needs to be done to the building itself, such as like the elevators need to be repaired, or the roof needs to be repaired or replaced, or the insurance has increased so much, and all of a sudden, all unit owners now subject to what's called the special assessment. And the special assessment is just an added monthly bill. The special assessment could be a couple $100 a month to $1,000 a month. It just depends on what the special assessment is for and how it is broken down. And the worst part about it is, if you don't pay it, they could go ahead and put a lien against your condo, which is in your home. And if that lien is not paid and satisfied, they could actually foreclose, and you could lose your home, your condo, by not paying the special assessment. So you're giving up a lot of your rights, and the dream, a lot of times, sadly to say, and especially with senior citizens, turn into a nightmare.
Rick, what have you been seeing in terms of special assessments over the last year or two?
The special assessments, as soon as that building collapsed in Miami, we knew right away that the laws were going to change. And sure enough, the laws changed now to a lot of condos that don't have any reserve funds now must have reserve funds set aside for emergencies. So for all the years, the new condo buildings didn't have to have reserve funds. People were like, why do we need to put money aside? The building's new. But now they have the buildings that are getting older and they need more repairs. And so because the buildings need repairs, that leads to your special assessments. Then not only that, but now the insurance companies are coming in and they are doubling their rates, increasing their rates. Buildings have to be inspected, and all of that stuff. What people need to realize is you're living in a condo, but you all own a part of that building, and whatever happens to that building, you all are partially responsible for the cost. And those special assessments do come out, and they are, like we said, very expensive, and it's an unplanned event that happens.
Yeah, I hear that's the biggest challenge when a special assessment comes out that people haven't budgeted for. And then if they fall behind, as you see here, you get this notice and they record a lien against your property, and then the association can actually foreclose on the property that you own, but for not paying the special assessment. And that becomes a big challenge, especially to a lot of our seniors that we see.
Have so many seniors, Jeff, that are a fixed income. And all of a sudden, they used to pay maybe $200, $300 a month as a maintenance fee or a regular assessment. And then all of a sudden, they get that notice saying, hey, you have to pay this much money. And that's easily said than done, because even though that money jumps up to where you have to pay so much more, your income doesn't jump up. Henceforth, it leads to the liens, the legal fees to enforce that lien. And even if you don't have a mortgage on your property, and that's the number one thing I hear, is people say, well, how can they take my home? I own it free and clear. I don't have a mortgage on it. The law says that a condo lien is just like a mortgage. If you don't pay it, they could take it away from you. And that's the nightmare right there, and the reality of owning a condo.
Well, thank you, Rick, for sharing all of your expertise and you kind of have your finger on the pulse of this issue in Broward County. And thank you so much for joining us for Legal Learning. Please follow us on social media. Tune in for our next episode of Legal Learning. And thank you so much for watching.